Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. I tell you what, we've got some big news coming out in the world of Newcastle United this evening regarding Kieran Trippier. Now, it's been understood that Bayern Munich have placed a lot of interest in Trippier over the last few days. Initially a loan fee that Newcastle have stood strong on and said they've got no plans of selling the player this January window. Despite that, in the background, lots of reports coming out of Germany especially to say that Trippier has been in contact with Bayern Munich, that he potentially himself would be, up for the move. It would seem that what needed to be agreed is Newcastle and Bayern Munich. Well, Bayern Munich have come back and they have substantially upped their offer of what had been previously said to be a loan to a £15 million permanent move bid, as reported by Fabrizio Romano. I tell you what, they have really come back and put the money on the table. And Newcastle have said no. That's right. As reported by the Daily Mail, Newcastle have not taken two looks at that offer and have reportedly rejected the £15 million point blank. You let me know your thoughts on that one down below. As I say, reports continually moving on along the lines of Trippier would be open to the move. Reports coming out of Germany saying that yes, Newcastle have obviously said no to the loan fee. I'm not surprised. Why, in what world would they agree to a loan of Trippier? But could they be swayed for 10, 11, 12 million? Newcastle go, no, there's no way we're selling him. But if you want to put another bid in and, we'll have a think about it. That was kind of the feeling that I was getting anyway. But maybe I've got it totally wrong because, as I say, £15 million placed and rejected by the Newcastle owners for the Newcastle on-field captain. And look, Trippier's massive to us, and there's two ways. There's totally two ways of looking at it. You can look at it. It was 33 years old. We actually paid 15 million for him. We've had two fantastic years out of him. We've got Livramento coming in at right back as the perfect replacement for him. But all of that said, Trippier is way more than that to this football club right now. As I've said, there's a reason Bayern Munich want him. There's a reason Bayern Munich are offering 15 million for a 33-year-old, probably a couple of good seasons in that player if he was to go over there. There's a reason they are bidding that money, and it's because they know he can take it to the top. Bayern Munich themselves are actually, I think, 7-ish points off the top of the league right now with a game in hand. They want to bring a player in that can bring them success. And the amount that Trippier... And look, Livramento is a fantastic player. And he will grow to be Newcastle's #1 right back, don't get me wrong. But what Bayern Munich would be gaining, it was exactly what Newcastle would be losing. And if we want to go and try and get European football this season, or have a charge at least to try and get some European football this season, Kieran Trippier on the pitch, free kicks, behind the scenes, he brings so much to that. Kieran Trippier crossing the ball in for Harry Kane and nod the ball in the net. I mean, that's exactly what Bayern Munich are looking for. And Newcastle want to keep that for themselves. Now, on a personal side, you can also... look, I don't want to get into the idea of us saying, or anyone saying, Kieran Trippier said he wanted to move back to England, and now he's going to leave. Like, things change, people change, different circumstances. And on a personal view for Trippier, he's kind of being offered, possibly a final big move. If he goes out to Bayern Munich, I don't know if the wages would necessarily go up by loads. I think Newcastle are paying Kieran Trippier pretty well right now. I think there's the possibility of a signing-on fee or a signing-on bonus that he might get. But what they're offering is a chance to go and win a league out there, and a chance to win a Champions League as well. There's one thing to be said that when he got here and he's done a lot. He was the player that led the way. He was the first player that Newcastle brought in. He was the guy who put his name, nailed his name to our mast and said, this is where I'm going to go. This is what I believe in. and things have changed a little bit. What I actually think of players, you know, it's just the way things seem to be now, is despite the fact that Newcastle are rejecting £15 million bids, that reports are that Trippier's in discussions trying to, I guess, understand that if it did happen, what the arrangements would be for them. Tuchel's getting the band back together. It's not like when he was in Spain and you know, there was less English speaking around him. He's going to go there. He's going to meet 3 of his old buddies, I suppose. As I say, get back on the pitch and start whipping the ball in for Harry Kane. But or is he, or not, as the case may be. As I say, Newcastle rejecting that bid. I partly thought, as I mentioned earlier, that despite the fact that Newcastle was saying publicly no, that if it did get to the stage of, you know, if anybody asked, you're not having them, but still offer us a few extra quid. I did think that when we started hitting 15 million, that Newcastle would consider it. I don't think Bayern Munich come, and this is the thing, if Bayern Munich come back and start offering 20-25 million, I think that's when you've got to go, okay, Trippier, you were tremendous for us, but that's a lot of money. And over 5 years, that's 100 million plus where you could spend this January and in the summer window. 15 million over 5 years, 75 million, but it's what we'd lose right now. I think 15 million's right on the brink for me as to what we would or should accept for Trippier. I think less than that, I think you're going, there's not enough time to really go out and bring. We wouldn't replace him. It would just be Livramento. We would literally just be taking a player out the side and losing something that's been so prevalent for us on a run to European football. It's right on the line for me. I think you start talking 2020, unless Newcastle are playing hardball again, if they think that Bayern Munich could come back for 2025, or Newcastle are straight down the line, we aren't losing this guy. Eddie Howe's going to Darren Eales in the back, you do not sell my captain, you know? Yeah. Things keep changing very quickly. You let me know your thoughts down below on a £15 million bid. Is that something Newcastle should be looking at, going, look, you know, he is the real deal. He is the main man. We are not letting him go. What would it take for you for Bayern Munich to look at selling Trippier? It's you can't predict the future. We can't predict that if Trippier did go, that Livramento wouldn't come in and be absolutely tremendous, and everyone's going, wow, we did well to sell Trippier when we did for that money. Or Trippier goes, Livramento doesn't quite hit the ground running, although he has been very good. It's a different player to Trippier. Oh, well, actually, we probably could have. We've managed to get up to 9th or 8th in the league. We're not far from European football. If only Trippier was hoying the ball in a bit more often. You know, you can't read the future. And I think for 15 million, it's just on the line, I think, for me, as to what we should and shouldn't be looking at. You know, come back with 30 or 25, and then we'll talk. All right. Thanks for watching. Thoughts down below, and we'll see what happens next. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out, and I'll catch you later.